Alright, so let's talk about The Brain That Wouldn't Die, which is a 1962 over-the-top, silly, trying to be one of those silly science gone wrong movies from the 1960s. And I've always heard great things about this one in terms of being so bad it's good. And for me personally, I feel like this movie is not the whole time entertaining. Like, it's definitely not for me personally, and there's a lot of people who love it, but there are some outright hilarious parts and just how insane this is trying to be. This is trying to be like a Plan 9 from outer space. It's trying to be a movie that's never going to take itself seriously. It's trying to be so incredibly hokey with the dialogue, with how these characters act, with what's happening in the movie. Because the plot of this movie, it's a very small plot, is this scientist has a girlfriend and they're driving around, and it makes a point to say every time he's turning that says curve, or it says like windy road. Right before he crashes, it says curve, and it like zooms in on it and then flies off the road. He gets out alive. His girlfriend is burning up in there, so he runs back to his other accomplice and he says like, or he's got his girlfriend's head in his arms in a bag, and says like, I can heal her, or I can get her back. She's alive. I can still save her. And I'm just like scenes like that in the movie made me laugh. Like, I thought those were genuinely hilarious. With that, where like, of course, it's not real life. Like, this decapitated head is still alive. I gotta save her. I really thought that was a lot of great things in this movie are about the head and being really silly on that factor. And it's a very silly, dumb movie because of that. And I really enjoy the moments with the head. Whenever the head comes back to life, every time you cut back to it, it's just saying like, I want to die. I don't want to be alive. I should have been dead. And then she controls a monster, apparently, that's in the closet or in like another room. And she just keeps complaining. And it's funny because it's so silly. And I like that part of the movie. But this is one of those movies where there are parts where I think are some of the worst ever. The rest of the movie is about, whenever it's not cutting back to the head, it's about this guy just hooking out with girls, and then with the dialogue that's so hokey on purpose, it makes it worse, and not in a good way. It's fun whenever the head's talking and saying all these things like, oh, I want to die, or like it's talking to like the creature. But the scenes with the guy talking to all the girls is so incredibly boring and so incredibly uninteresting. I felt the minute it cuts away from the head, it's so disinteresting to me personally. Like, it bare bones. Like, I can't even like pay attention whenever it's not cutting to the head. Like, it is so god awful. It's just them talking about stuff, and him talking to girls about stuff, and it's hokey and try to be hokey, but it's not fun in the way like the head was. So this is a very mixed bag for me. The moments with the head are hilarious, with the girlfriend whose head is just there being kept alive. But then the scenes with the guy when he's on his own talking to women, like, it's dialogue that is just so incredibly boring. The characters are so incredibly boring in those scenes that it just doesn't do it for me. And this movie is only like an hour and 20 minutes, but man, I wish that this was just a short movie with just the head talking. It would have been way more entertaining, way more fun. The other scenes are just so goddamn boring. Like, I can't even, like, I could not even pay attention at all. I just heard them saying these boring, incredibly boring lines, some of those boring things I've ever heard. And I feel like it was nothing. But like I said, there were things I liked about it. The head, every scene with her, great. The ending with her and the monster coming out, great. Just everything else, complete dog shit, complete boring. And you could argue the other thing is dog shit, but that's more fun. That's so bad it's good fun. But the other parts of the movie are so boring and just so uninteresting to me. So this was one that I wanted to see for a while. I just got the incentive to be pushed to see it because of somebody I talked to on Facebook. But I really man, this was hard to watch in a lot of ways, but it was fun to watch in a lot of ways. So this is a very mixed bag. Incredibly so bad it's good, but some parts were just so fucking bad.